Hi, this is Abe Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. The topic I'm going to talk to you today about is the Real Housewives of uh the Real House. Oh no, Love and Marriage DC. Uh, Love and Marriage DC. I think it's episode. I think it's episode 4 or 5 that happened this past weekend. I'm gonna say episode. I'm gonna say episode 4. This past weekend. Because it kind of picked off from where it left off last weekend, where Monique refused to film with Chris because she thought Chris wasn't taking his spiritual counseling and healing seriously. And so he was talking to the producer, and he told the producer that he feels like he's walking on eggshells with Monique. He doesn't know what to do. He's trying to do the best he can. With Monique, he's trying to work on his marriage and stuff with Monique. And then the producer had told him, well, you will know you might have to take Monique's feelings into account. He said, I do try to take Monique's feelings into account. And then the other lady producer was talking to Monique, and she said, well, what's going on? What's the problem? And she said, he wants me to give everything, but he doesn't want to give anything. And I'm doing everything. I feel like he's not doing the work. And she said, well, what do you mean he's not doing the work? He's not showing his emotions to me. His emotions to me, he show a little bit, and then he show a little bit, and then he puts a wall up and he shuts down. And then so the man producer told Chris to go back in there, and then Chris said, well, you want me in the room? She said, yeah. She said, but I feel like that you're not giving me all of you're not giving me the emotional stuff. Monique, I'm trying. He said, but you think I'm not doing it. He said, I am doing it. He said, but my spiritual journey might be different from your spiritual journey. And I totally agree with Chris on that. I think I've always said she's been a little bit too hard on Chris about the situation. And then Chris said, well, you got to look at it from a man's point of view. I'm a man, and we feel like that if we give you a good stable home and financial stability, that should be enough. She said, well, no, it's not enough. I don't know what went wrong in our marriage. And then she started busting out crying. And then Chris picked her up and grabbed her and hugged her. And then it went to the next scene. The next scene was when Jamie showed up at his stepdaughter's house, which he calls her daughter, which is Erana's daughter from a previous relationship, Brittany. And so she said she invited her dad over there to help her put up a nightstand. But then she said in a confessional, she really brought him over there to talk about the situation that happened at their dinner party with Jayson. And so he came over there and he said, ooh, you could have did this on your own. She said, nah, it was a little bit too heavy. So he looked at the directions. He said, yeah, this is gonna take some work. He said, you got the tools and stuff for me to look at, because he kind of glanced over the directions and stuff. And then she said, well, Daddy, I also want to talk to you about what happened at the dinner party with Jayson. And she was saying, I think he was a little bit too hard on Jayson. Like I said, I wish I would have let me choose what career I wanted to give. He said, well, Jason's situation is different from yours. It's different. Yeah, she said, well, nah, Daddy, you still a little bit too hard. Jayson wanted to be independent. He wanted to college, and you wanted to be a DJ. And he said, well, he said, well, after y'all told me how Jayson felt, I'm kind of going to back away a little bit, be lenient and stuff. And she said, yeah, because you need somebody to check you. He said, no. He said, no, I'm the parent. I'm supposed to check y'all. And then she said, well, in some cases, we are supposed to check you. And then they got to laughing about it. And then it went to the next scene. And the next scene was, let me get some water. The next scene is when Monique meets up with Winter, and Winter tells Monique that she had lunch with Ashley and Erana, and she tells Monique how Ashley and Erana treated her. She said Ashley treated her just like she did at her dinner party. And she said, what? She said, yeah. She said Ashley gonna tell me that she was tired of hearing about my situation with Kevin. and I was telling her that I was only explaining my situation because I wanted people to hear my side of the story. And she said, "Well, what about Erana?" She said, "Well, to me, Erana is one of those people who plays both sides." And then Monique said, "What? What you talking about them? That don't seem nothing like Erana and Ashley. I got to get to the bottom of this." She said, "Well, that is the way they treated me and stuff like that." And Monique just couldn't believe it. And then it went to the next scene where Jamie and Erana and Jayson and Brittany and little Jamie, they all went to play Powerball with Jayson. And Jayson said his family is used to him playing Powerball, but they used to him playing Powerball on the computer because of the pandemic. So they all went to the Powerball center with them. And somebody was saying, "What is Powerball?" He said, "Powerball is a game is a game that they play at the center where you gotta have glasses on and you can't see through the glasses." And he was saying they got some kind of it's like a ball inside some kind of, I guess, cushion or something or whatever you want to call it. That's what Jayson was explaining in his confessional. Jayson actually looks good in his confessional with that gold and black jacket and those black glasses. Jayson is really a handsome young man, even though he has a disability. They went to the Powerball thing, and Jayson said, "People don't realize I'm very competitive. Even though I got a disability, I'm very competitive." So they tried to play. They tried to play the game, and Big Jamie tried to hit the ball. Little Jamie couldn't go, and the mama couldn't do it. Really couldn't do it. And then they finally said that Jayson won the game. I think it was like 2-3 or 3-1 or something like that. And then Raina said in her confessional, now she sees Jamie has to live like that his whole life, and it was just kind of hard for her doing it just for that little thing. And then so also Big Jamie said he kind of understood, and then little Jamie said that's why he came, because he wanted to understand the life that his brother was living. And then Brittany said even though Jayson has a disability, she said Jayson is strong and he's very intelligent, he's smart, and that is right. Like I said in my last video, they say when you don't have all 5 of your senses, the other 4 senses kick in and overdrive, and that's been proven. So that's right. He might have a disability as far as not seeing, but he's very smart, and you could tell from the scenes on the show. And then after that, they had to sit down and they took a little break, and then that's when Erana told Jayson that he had got accepted into the Doors Rehabilitation School. We have something, it's called Doors out there. We have something similar to that in Texas, but that's another side note. But anyway, he was so happy, and he tried to dance, and then it went to the next scene. And then the next scene is when Ashley had her event, and she was getting ready to have her event for her mommy podcast with her partner. And so she had a lot of guests and friends coming. Raina arrived, and then Monique arrived, and then she was talking. She was saying, she started her thing off on YouTube as a podcast, and now she's making it into a business. And she had all kind of T-shirts saying "Mommy me this" and "Mommy me that." And then after that, she had a little speech and said, "Well, she's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's not her problem." And so next thing you know, Monique asked, was it any room, any way that they could talk, have a private conversation? And so they went to a little room, and it's on the side. And so Monique was saying, "Well, I had lunch with Winter the other day, and she told me that she had lunch with y'all, and she told me what had happened." And she said, "What she told?" She said that you were kind of aggressive to her, Ashley. And she said, and she said, "Well, I got tired of talking about problems. I told her I got tired of talking about problems, but I wasn't aggressive." And then she said, "Erana, she said that you play both sides." I said, "What do I mean I play both?" She said, "Look like you was mostly taking up for Ashley, and I told her I had to get to the bottom of it. I wanted to get to the bottom of it." And she said, "Yeah." She said, "You talking about her business. You shouldn't be talking about her business. All of the rumors that go around the street about Quick." And then Ashley got mad. "Quick? What they say about Quick?" Well, Monique said, "Well, she called Quick quick something fun something quick. Quick fun something, and then she's like, "What? Quick fun something?" Ah, well, like I said, I don't know nothing about what she talking about. Quick in the streets cheating on me and stuff. I ain't never heard nothing about it. I ain't seen nothing about it. So as long as I don't hear, I don't see it, I don't believe she don't know what she talking about. So she got all mad, got all upset, and then next thing you know, Raina was trying to say something. Next thing you know, Winter walked in, and Monique looked at her. Oh, Winter, how you doing? Hugging Winter, actually Winter, how she doing? And then Winter said, well, how are y'all? She tried to speak to Ashley, tried to speak to Erana. Ashley gave her a funny look. Erana gave her a funny look. And then Winter said in her confessional, she realized when she walked in that room that that those girls already had I was already lit up and was already on 10. And so Ashley said, Monique said that you said this about it. She said, you remember when we was talking about at the table about people cheating, and then Arena said that she did some stuff, and then quit, and then her husband did stuff, and then I told you that the way you was talking about my situation, that I heard rumors about Quick. Well, you might have heard rumors about Quick, but Quick ain't never cheated on him. And just Ashley was just going out crazy and stuff, and then Winter say, calm down, let me explain. Ashley didn't want to let her explain. And then so she said in her conversion, I don't know what ghetto type of mess this. And then what you call got to cussing and fussing and waving her hands, Ashley, and doing all this and acting such a big fool and clowning and stuff like that. And then she said, well, you coming? She said, well, I only came because Monique invited me. Said, I really want to come. Well, you could get out there. You could get out there. That's Ashley. And then Winter said, well, I will leave. And then Ashley's partner came over and said, well, Ashley, we got another event over. You got something else you got to speak on. And instead of Ashley leaving, she gonna go back and cuss again and get in front of Winter's face. And Winter said, well, I don't fight nobody. And then Monique said, ooh, I didn't think this was gonna break out. I didn't think this was gonna break. I'm gonna walk you to the door, Winter. And so she walked Winter to the door, and it was kind of halfway to the hallway. And then that's when Monique tried to talk to her, and then that's when Arana came up and said, they say Winter gotta go. Winter said, well, I'm getting ready to leave. And then Monique, I'll talk to you later. And then it switched. And then it switched. Before it switched to the next scene, Monique knows she started that mess, and what it was, she didn't know it was gonna get out of hand and stuff like that. So in this situation, Monique was wrong. She should have talked to. She should have had Winter. She should have forewarned Winter and told Winter what she said and stuff like that. And Winter kind of made her own assumptions. But anyway, it went to the next scene, and then the next scene is where Erana and Jamie was talking about going to look at one of the houses that they have, because they said they're in the property management business, and they go around and buy up houses and fix them up. It's kind of similar to I guess to flipping, but anyway, they got a business partner named Jamar. So they met up with Jamar at the house, and the house was messy and it looked like shambles. And then Jamie was talking about, ooh, I don't want to go in that room. It's a smell in that room. And said, be sure nobody ain't poo-pooed. And then Erana said, ain't nobody poo-pooed in this house. Ain't nobody been in this house for a while and stuff like that. And then so when they got to looking around, he said, well, how much would it take? And he said, well, Jamar, my friend Jamar, he knows a contractor. And then Jamar said, well, we already kind of went over the numbers and stuff. He said it's gonna cost about $10,000 to get this house fixed. And then he said, oh, $10,000. He said, yeah, but it do need fixing, a lot of fixing. He said, well, okay, $10,000. He said, we'll talk about it later. And then Jamie and Erana went outside, and then Erana told Jamie that she didn't like the way he was talking to her. He disrespected her and he yelled at her and stuff. And he said, well, when I tried to talk to you and stuff, you pulled off in the car. She said, no, I didn't pull off in the car. She said, I was trying to pull the car up closer to the place, and you kind of disrespected me. She said, I had a rough day. And then she explained to him about what happened at Ashley party, and how Ashley and Winter got into it. She said, I was already upset by that. And then you made me miss my friend's birthday party. He said, well, I had something going on too, and stuff like that. But she said, but you made me miss my friend's birthday party. He said, well, I had a rough day too. You don't know what I went through. So both of them said they had a rough day. And then after that, he's talking about, don't start that crying. You try to blame me for everything. He said, nah, but I don't like you disrespecting me like that. And that gets her. And so he said, well, I'm sorry. And they apologized, and then the show ended. This is Abe Wesley. That ain't even tested like a TI is. I am out.